I'll give you this.
Thank
Start
you.
that way. Thank you. Let me see if we need more recorders. It's taking a long time.
How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Thanks for
Amazing.
Thanks for joining us today.
You can take it away. This point. We talked about yesterday. So, however you want to handle it.
Yeah, go for it. You're all over it. I'm gonna let Kim take over. She put this agenda together with
Marty.
Are we recording?
Yeah, I'm recording right here.
I'm recording as well.
All right, lovely.
Oh,
I'm gonna let Kim take over from here and go over with the agenda of where we're at since our last meeting.
since our last meeting. Everybody's got the volunteer sheets, so if you can fill those out and make sure they're signed and give them back to us. I'll put a green folder up there, everybody can throw them in there.
And with the form itself, we are putting it online at the Hempstalk. I mean, we will be doing that. So anybody who has anybody that wants to volunteer,
Right, that's
they'll
not
be
at the
able to
meeting.
print that off.
And then also people that aren't, might not be here full time or at a lot of the meetings, that way they can get information on there too, which is kind of our next point is communication, and that is, obviously that's key. That's the most important thing to make this thing successful. We've got 5 different feeds going on and messages going on, and like we were talking about, it's impossible to get through all of it and get to the meat of what's important for me or for you or whoever's working on the different teams. So we're working with Marty got a program that's with MS 365, which I'm familiar with those programs. It's all MS kind of programs like Word and Excel and so forth. But we're going to get with Christian and find out if he has a kind of a program. What's that coordinating program that he has?
Yeah, it's called 420 Socialize.
Oh, sweet! There it is.
This is the format right now. It's just the database. He's got to clean up a little bit, but
Okay.
you log on. Each person who is a committee chair or leader would get their category. We'd be able to send notes, interlink it. It's all linked to our QuickBooks and everything. So he's still finishing up a couple links on it, but it's supposed to be ready for us here in the next day or so.
Nice.
It was for us.
So yeah, we're going to see what that's
Well,
kind of a
nice
project
picture, yeah.
management software. So that's going to keep everybody on task and know everybody what everyone else is doing. So we're not doing double duty because that's the last thing we want to do. So,
Well, the neat part about this is it's been given to us as a tool to help us organize, but it's also a tool that we can use to help advertise. We can use this program and sell parts of the use of this program to other businesses and companies. So it's kind of a gift package that was given to us as a marketing tool, an organizational tool, and a sales tool.
Sweet. So yeah, we'll get familiar with that and then.
Yeah. I have a meeting with Christian in the morning to go over it for like 2 hours on the phone.
Right.
I should know what I'm doing then.
So then, if the email address is going to be real important because I think that's how the mainstream of our communication should be. It's just easier to keep track of everything, look back on stuff for reference, whatever we need it for. So the email address that we set up until we get this MS 365 or this other program set up is azhempstalk@gmail.com. So that one just goes right to me, and I will direct it to whoever the team leaders that need to address it, and then if they need to send it to whoever they're working with, and it'll go down that line. So that way, it's just real easy to follow the chain. Unfortunately, I had a little problem with my computer, and this week I've been working on this organizational chart to really make things clear as to where everybody's going to be in their responsibilities and who you want to talk to when you have a question, because that's, again, communication, the key thing. So if we get, so I didn't get them here, my computer wasn't working with me, so that's what I'm going to get next. If I have their email addresses, I can send them right to you so you see exactly who's where and who you need to call for what, or what information to forward on, or their volunteer information or whatever. So
So everybody has that azhempstalk@gmail.com. Because anybody getting anything, anybody asking questions, wanting to know something, we've got to forward it all and there. So we don't lose anybody at
planners, yeah, anybody, so, and until we get the different department emails set up, then they'll go right to the departments or a general one that I can, send the information along, so. So, the sponsor and vendor package update, did you guys work on that yesterday?
No, we did not. I'm actually going to work on it tonight.
Okay. Okay, so those that are gonna be working with vendors and sponsors and everything, they're working on the packages for them.
We have an outline.
Yeah, we do have an
So,
outline. This was made up for the Mesa Amphitheater. I put this together about a year ago. It pretty much details what we're gonna have, what kind of tents, and then distribution of monies that would be paid out. But since we're going to go with somebody's land opposed to a venue where they have already a hall and all the amenities, of course they wanted $50,000, basically to rent out their whole facility. We're not going to have that out-of-pocket cost to rent the facility. So, but we will have like the porta potty costs, trash removal costs. Security detail, trash detail, that's going to be a big thing. We're going to need people on gators hauling trash to a central dump that it can be taken out. These festivals, go ahead.
Truck and trailer.
There would also be a build-out cost, I would think, too, to accommodate the whole Hemp Fest.
Yes, we're looking at possibly 3 stages, and that's not including all the other things that are going to have to be set up along for the vendors. If we're going to do showers, water stations, all that stuff. So we do have a construction guy that's managing that committee. I don't know if he's here. I don't see him. But he's supposed to be getting us costs. People are looking at donating materials for us. And then we also have the cost for permitting because it costs money to build on people's land. So where we will not have some of these costs, we will incur other costs. So basically, this is just a rough outline, and it can all be changed. But it's pretty much how this will go. But except we're not going with a venue like Mesa Amphitheater.
Right. We just want to show the format, and then we're going to get in here and tweak the numbers according to what we have to work with. Locking in the land was really the next point of emphasis. So in order to move forward with this, that's where we're at now. With that being said, with the land, I guess we can talk about that a little bit real quick. Matthew is the gentleman that we are in contact with. His father owns the land in New River. He can give you a little insight of what's going on with the land.
Hello, I'm Matthew. Nice to meet all of you.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I've been in Arizona off and on since the 70s, lived here pretty much full time since '88. Right now I'm landed at the TT Ranch in New River, which was one of the largest cattle ranches in Arizona. It went all the way up to Sunset Point and all the way down past Anthem, and even further, I believe. Huge, so huge, I don't really know how big, but it's very big. Currently, it's a 78 mile cattle lease in Arizona, kind of central, right off I-17, 0.6 of a mile out. It's the first exit leaving the metropolis, so you have over 4 million people right here. You have the New River, which was a river that some people believe is a wash. You can Google it right now, New River wash, and it'll come up saying it's a wash. So I called the USGS and asked them, is this a river or a wash? I'm getting ready to do a documentary about bringing back the New River. And if it's a wash, I look pretty stupid, and so I'm like, oh, okay, well, I better wait. And 53,000 cubic feet per second water was coming down the New River. And it flooded and wiped out parts of the ranch. It blew out a gate that I was standing on, actually, and it was rising that quickly. And it was going for a couple hundred yards across. No one had ever seen it. Nobody had ever seen it. I'm a videographer, as luck would have it. I filmed the thing because I was there doing yoga at 5:30 in the morning, and it's starting to rain a little bit. And this was a week after the last rain. So the amount of water that came down there, no one had ever seen before. And we have it as a film, so I have intellectual property of filming there because this is about unity, and that's why I'm there, and that's why we're here. Because we can change things overnight, because it's two polar things that we can go right now. It's going to go for one purpose within the next month or two, or it's going to go for this. I've been working on this for 15 years. You guys have been working on your parts of this for how many years? The amount of people that are here and connected in the spirit of it. If we get into the money and rules and regulations, you can't do this and get rules and if we go like that, we have to get into the spirit, the Bob Marley spirit. and the cannabis spirit and work together because we're all talented. We got the graphic designers and videographers and farmers and mothers and daughters and people that can do it. So we're working for things now. And there's, I mean, I've been in Arizona in the sustainable community. There's lots of farms and organic people that know how to put it back together. So we're going to shift and put it back together and create jobs and do the thing and barter and trade. Because a lot of people think the government's going to fail anyway. Well, if we're sustainable, we can help out our neighbors if they need it. If we're not sustainable, we get our food from China or Mexico, it ain't going to work. So we're spending, as a society, we're already doing it. We're putting more time and energy into what we support versus what we were against. I understand what they were against. You know, I'm 50. I may not look it, but I'm 50 years old, so I understand. You know, when you get a little bit older, you get a little bit more. Okay, well, let's work together. And then, you know, now the hippies can come back. You know, they got lost a little bit, and now they're coming back into children. I mean, the baby River literally lives in the New River right now. He's 100 years old, so I've watched him go. He's a friend's daughter, your friend when you come out there, from 6 months to a year and a half. His name is River. He lives on the New River. So, anyway, I digress a little bit. We can actually get this property. I've worked on a sustainable showcase for everybody for about 15 years, since 1999. And a lot of people are Y2K and stuff like that, and they're getting into sustainability. You have the survivalists. This ranch is for the people. It is. That's why I'm there. It's not about me. It's not about my ego. It's not about my plan, my vision. We have the perfect thing. Through social networking, I'm just saying this is what we're for. This is what we're going to do. We're going to teach people about soil, about compost, about animal husbandry, about midwifery, about herbs, about healing, about lots of different things. And it's going to be a healing center because cannabis heals. Love heals. That horse is going to heal someone. Horses have such a big heart, is what I read recently, that when you're in that vibration of that love, it does something to you. You get into a heart coherence with God because God created the horse, and the horse loves us, and we love it unconditionally. The dog loves. That's why we love our dogs more than people. It's because they love us unconditionally, you know. So, but anyway, yeah, we get into the spirit of it. I mean, I was a business consultant. I kind of got out of business in 2002. I worked for the family, and I said, hey, things are messed up. So I was one of those people saying, hey, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. And what did they say? No, we don't want to do that right now. We're talking about the sky is falling. Right now we're unsustainable. And all the top scientists know it. Most of my client scientists friends say that we've already gone past the tipping point. We haven't I agree, it's true that it looks like that. But if we plant hemp, do bank stabilization, work with the rivers, undam them, take the levees out, which we're doing, because it saves them money. You don't put $250,000 into fixing up your little dam or levee that's no longer serving the purpose. You let it go, and then it doesn't flood because the trees start growing and it'll soak up the soil. You know, so the New River will have trees again. In 1539, it was a forest. There was grizzly bears. There was beaver. We killed a couple million beavers in Arizona in the 1800s. Big deal. We got to get over it, and we just reforest it. Some of my friends are reforesters, and I studied the top scientists on the planet. I know very little about a lot of things. And we're brilliant. We know how to do things. We know how to heal. We know how to grow mushrooms. We know how to grow cannabis. We know how to grow hemp. We know how to make things. We're farmers. We're ranchers. We're vets. We're Democrats. We're independents. We're Republicans. It's not about party politics anymore. There's that middle class that says, what are you guys doing? It's crazy. Well, I've got to vote. I've got to vote, because if I don't, then they'll get in, blah, blah, blah. But now we're changing. As America, we're changing. The last 15 years, we have changed. And so this thing right here, we got a lot of great people, and it's family. That's why this is going to be successful or not in the next 40 days, because it's about family. You are my family. You come out to Titi Ranch, we got some honey, we got some food, we grow permaculture. We've been struggling, in a sense, versus this being a military operation and training, or a sustainable garden for the people and teaching, and about the animals and nature. Nature and animals will heal people better than me or Chris or anybody trying to talk to them. So it helps, we help, but the river, listening to the river will heal them. That horse interaction will heal them. The little children coming there and doing the petting of the animals and the goats and milking the cows. So the venue and this ranch are perfectly married up. I've been promoting cannabis and hemp for over 15 years, and from Iowa, and I grew up seeing the hemp stalks, in the ditch, we call it ditchweed and stuff like that. My father was a farmer for 18 years and said it was too tough, and became a businessman and a teacher and educator. And he's a smart man. He's done a lot of things. And he's been very generous. I didn't give him as much credit for being very generous, but he's been generous with his money and stuff. I don't believe it's an accident that he bought the ranch. And I've been looking at doing a sustainable community showcase about bringing people, or just having a place where people can come to get the healing or get the education that they want. Because we know about soil, we know about trees, we know about biology, we know about the people that are attached to this. University professors from NAU and Prescott University and ASU, and the people, we can't fight the government anymore. If they're crazy and lost and creating a prison plan, and we can get into all that stuff. Yeah, there is that mentality, and they're getting military and stuff like that. And I heard a shocking thing that only 3% of our people wouldn't shoot against us in the army or in the forces. And I was in the Marine Corps. I don't believe it's that low, but I would have died for American. That's a deeper thing. So anyway, we've got a lot of heart connection and a lot of brotherhood and sisterhood going on about this thing. And it's been going on, and there's millions of us. There's millions of us.
Absolutely.
One of my friends from Canada, they got a sustainable community up there. He said, we wanted to create a sustainable community worldwide. And when they were doing it, they found out it was already there. So there's networks. I got friends all over, Costa Rica, Switzerland, Africa, that are into growing food and have been doing it, and reforesting and replanting, because we can't just chop down all the trees and do cattle. We know that. But there has to be a transition, and the heart way is the only way it's going to work, and that's what the TT Ranch is about. This project can happen, so we can discuss, do all these things, and get organized, and do the emails, but it's the spirit of this. Because, gossip and libel, I read some of this, gossip and libel, and start creating rules and stuff like that. We just got to come from the love and the heart and the unity and working together, because there's millions of us right now that are doing this.
Did the rain ruin anything on your ranch?
No, it made it better. Why? Because it's a better story. I'm a filmer. I went up the stream the week before the flood with my professional old small travel camera. I had shoulder issues and the camera's old and Zoom didn't work anyway. I filmed the river the week before it flooded. All the trees, I was like, I was going to say, we can put more cottonwood trees in here and stuff and build upon this. The river took it all down. It took big swirls down. It was 30, 40 feet in some of the canyons. Wow. 30 to 40 feet high in some of the canyons. And then it went, so I got all the footage and photos. And I started from 5:30 in the morning taking photos and then video. And I almost got trapped because our road got wiped out for like 3 or 4 days before the grader could come in. 3 big culverts like this off of Table Mesa Road just got blown out.
Is the land though? I don't know. I'm trying to focus it. Is it big enough to have an event? Does it need to be?
It's 160 acres. We own half of Table Mesa. As you're going up north, I-17, Table Mesa exit, right? Exit 236. It's 160 acres deeded land. There's nothing around it except for state trust land, which is for us Arizonans. We own the land around the TT Ranch. If we own the TT Ranch, we own everything.
I've been out there. It's actually gorgeous.
This is meant to be. The next
No, the issue isn't the weather. The issue actually is the ownership of the land.
It's been said to be sold since like January or February. And
do you know the new owner?
My parents own it right now,
Okay.
but there's a group that wants to buy it.
Okay.
But the deadlines keep getting missed and missed and missed and stuff like that. So to me, it's because it's supposed to be this right here. The next 40 days. Social media, if we say this is the spirit of what we're doing, this is the spirit of AZ Hempstalk 2015. Doesn't matter whether it goes off in April or May or in the fall. This is why we're doing it. This is who we are. There's millions of us. You're brilliant. The people listening are all brilliant. If you're listening to this, you are brilliant. You're a part of the solution. We have human solution. We have the spiritual solution. We have gardeners. We have permaculturists. We have people that understand childbirth and women and herbs and all that stuff. There's millions and millions of us all over the planet. And so if we don't hate the prison planet people that are doing it, and we love them, as hard as that may seem, but it says the ancient cities should do that.
Christ said.
Yes. So when we do that, it changes. We have to love ourselves first. Then I can love you if I love myself. And that's the path that millions of us are on. I mean, there's over 6 billion people that love Christ and His teachings and Buddha and all the wisdom. And there's hundreds of millions of us that have been studying it in books and seminars. This is part of the solution right here. That's why we met. The Kickstarter plan that I did of bringing back the New River, I never really launched it because of the historic flood. I was getting ready to do a documentary about the New River coming back. Well, the New River came back by itself, and it's going to flow for many more months. And it may actually flow continuously right now. Because we can go out there, we can slow the water down. We can work with the Corps of Engineers, we can work with the governments, the flood control management. Why? Because bringing the river back and the beavers back, we're going to have more water, purer water. We can bring fishing. There'll be more elk, more deer. So the bigger plan is to shift, and not in a threatening way, but to shift to more game. So the hunters will love it, the bird people will love it, and we'll have more. So it'll reforest itself to what it was before.
So should we be actually focusing on this rather than the event? I mean,
because if this happens, we'll have Hempstalk there from day one.
Right.
Hempstalk, that will be Hempstalk, kind of one of the hubs. one of the hubs. There's so many hubs in Arizona alone. There's, all these different sustainable-minded people and farmers, and there's lots of them. And organic farming is growing, organic and aquaponics and greenhouse and all these things. So there's hundreds of millions of us are switching to what we're for, and growing food's a part of it, knowing where your soil is and stuff. Becoming sustainable. The old Jewish book says that. Be sustainable. I don't support getting food from China and Mexico and stuff as much. We can transition and we can work with them, but we can't chop down the trees anymore. The old growth trees have to stay, and because the trees, they were around the coast, so when that big storm came in, guess what? It just ate it up and said thank you. And all that water just boom. And then if you lived inland, well, with it you're okay, but you chop down all the trees around your coast, like Australia, and trees all the way around it, all the way around it. You chop them down for wood and for ships and building and stuff like that over hundreds of years. 97% of America was chopped down. We're about reforestation. So we have some of the top reforestations on the planet working with us. And I've just really hooked into Chris and all these people, because we've all been doing our own thing, and now we're connecting more, we're getting more unified. And it's not supposed to be, all right, let's get unity, and then tomorrow everyone's in unity. No, it's a process, because we're all going through our own stuff, right? I'm the only one in the front that's been going through stuff the last year, the last day, the last week.
Last week.
Yeah, a lot of things are happening, and so versus getting into fear and fighting, I studied all the conspiracy stuff in 2000 and stuff. But now, I traveled around the planet. I was blessed with being able to do that and study and learn. We're coming together now, and we can just really... Africa wants to put a strip across Africa. They want to retreat it. 3,000 miles of a retreat thing that is very large in Africa. It's an ambitious plan that's already been going on. Because they chopped down all the trees. When I taught with my friends from Ghana and I studied them, they chopped down all their trees, took all the resources, and created the desert. Well, we can put it back now. I'm not going to argue about who chopped it down and did what and stuff. Nature heals the water. It's about water. Water is life. The Native Americans have been rising, women have been rising, our children have been rising. Human Solutions, there's so many groups. Hawkins, he says that there's, when he studied nonprofits and stuff that were doing good around the planet, it was just an amazing amount. Millions of nonprofits and good people, community-minded people for sustainability and love. So there's now the connections that have been made. I've been a cannabis hemp supporter a lot, but my family didn't like it. They wanted to suppress me in a sense because I was a crazy hippie tree hugger, cannabis loving friend, and more into that Bob Marley peace love thing as well.
But as far as our plan of attack, our strategy here, as far as, because we really on the onset we're going about the event, and it seems like with what the steps we need to take are first we need to acquire whatever venue it is going to be.
Here's
maybe
what
go on. You said we need to get out there and get donations.
This deal can be done in the next 40 days.
So we need to make
the next
awareness.
40 days, right? And it's about the spirit of what this is. This is about buying the 160 acres because we have elevation, we have wind. There's wind tunnel that goes through there. We have the river that's already come back. Said, all right, you want to bring me back? Here I am. There's so much water there. It's amazing. Everything changed. The whole river just changed. There were literally probably hundreds of millions of boulders going down that thing. And I was filming it with a lower grade professional camera, but it had a fuzzy little thing on so the wind didn't get it. And it was like so many freight train locomotives. You couldn't imagine it.
Is the event in 40 days, or you have to do
No, we can buy it. We can buy this ranch. This ranch is for sale. It's a corporation. We can buy it today. Through social media, we could raise $9 million, buy this property, and link up with several other and buy other properties. And it's about family. It's about growing food. It's about bringing the kids out. We have kids that came out to this land and blessed it, and they said, this is what we would like to see. Milking cows, goats, yoga for kids. They want to, do art. They want to do, dance and drum circles and stuff like that. We're creating this for our children. The children have already been out there, and they've already said, this is what we want, and that's what we're doing. This is about our kids, 7 generations. Native Americans love this, Indigenous love this, Republicans love this, farmers love this, Democrats love this, Independents love this. I haven't met anyone who said, oh, you want to create a sustainable showcase, which also is like a school so people can come do work exchange for free, learn about whatever they want to learn about. There's hundreds of jobs. You want to make goat's milk? Here, go over here. You want to... I've gone down to do the Earth Harmony Festival a couple weeks ago, or last weekend. They have a sustainable community of 120 people. They have it, the rainwater collection, they have the cows, they changed from cow pastures to food forest. They took where it was flooding their land and made a berm and shot it into their food forest, and food goes boom. They had a ditch that was kind of getting wiped out. They dug it down and planted little trees and plants and stuff, and that soaks up the water. We have an example of what it is. This venue is more public. Theirs is more communal, and that's awesome. I learned a lot. I'm going down there for 4 days on how to build an eco community. And they've already got it, and they're living together in unity and love. They're some of the most loving people I've ever met on the planet. I've been to 20 countries.
So what's the cost of the ranch? What are they selling?
Approximately $6 million. You know, this is my father and stepmom, so I know pretty much what they're into it for and stuff like that.
Right.
If we, the people, love this project and it goes organically, we don't have to market it and come to Hempstalk and buy your ticket. No, we say, look, here's a T-shirt. You want to buy it for $31? You want to buy one for $22? Donations. We have to trust, and we have to use money as a tool and an energy and know that it's abundant. There's hundreds of millions of us that would support this, so if it goes organically from today forward, the next 40 days, we can buy this as a corporation. I've already talked with the foundation people here in Arizona, the PAC Foundation. They set up and support sustainability. My vision was too big for them. It's too much. Their bylaws were this, but they loved it. And you know, I've talked with the Attorney General's ex-guy who said, if you could do this as a sustainable showcase and do it as a foundation and a trust, and it's not about money per se, it's about having enough money to run the place. Then you work with the for-profit people and grow the food. We could grow so much food in 90 days. We bought that corporation in 24 hours. We could grow so much food there and teach so many people about how to grow hemp and how to heal themselves and how to raise horses and cows.
Yeah.
Because we are going to transition. We are going to transition.
The applications of the ranch, I mean, went on and did a little researching, are, you know, from, you know, producing your own hemp to producing hempcrete that goes out to build houses around here. You know, it's giving back from the community, also providing a place for people to come live. Hey, maybe your house is, we're waiting on your house and you need a free place to stay. Well, you can come here and help out, chip in. You know, I'm all for it, most definitely.
Woofers, people will come there and build it for free.
You
Woofers
know.
will come in and exchange. We can do a seminar on how to build a straw bale, and people will pay $250 if they can afford it. If they can't, they'll do a work exchange or they'll apply for a scholarship. You want to come from, I mean, my friends live in Africa and Central America and Costa Rica and you know, all over the planet basically, because their sustainable network is already there. The human solution is already there in spirit. There's lots of beautiful people all over this planet.
So the profits of Hempfest are going towards this?
I don't know. That's this gentleman's
I'm a
deal.
little lost.
The way it started is we were putting on a festival to promote hemp, industrial hemp, and we were looking for a location to do it on.
Right.
I got introduced to Matthew, and he had we weren't quite at the situation of knowing what was going on with the land. It was more of finding out. He had to meet with his dad, find out what his dad's vision was the land, or if he would even rent it to us. He found out yesterday or the day before that his dad wasn't really much into leasing the land. So his idea is maybe to get a Kickstarter going or some kind of a documentary plan.
It can be people funded. It can be crowdfunded.
Crowdfunded to get
I
it rolling.
sucked as a
40
fundraiser.
days.
I really did.
That's like the average crowdfunding.
When's the event supposed to be?
Our event is scheduled for Mother's Day weekend, May of 2015.
Okay.
So we're
Plenty of
6
time.
months out.
All right, I thought we
Yeah.
were trying to do it all in 40 days.
With that being said, no. But we have other options of land. There's two other, I have one, Gabe has a gentleman up north where he can talk about 40
There's
acres.
lots of options. Nothing's
Yeah.
been said. It's about us. It's about this meeting. It's
It's
about
like,
I was
what we
just
do
trying
from
to
here
figure out-
forward.
Sure.
Yeah, our
These
favorite
this is
option
first
would be
meeting.
Oh yeah,
the
those is
TT
awesome.
ranch.
Yeah.
You know, because of what's there already, what can be added.
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So what,
Location,
and what do we
location,
want to
location.
make Hempstalk? We don't want to be a commercialized another cannabis cup or another go get high festival and not learn anything or teach anyone about giving back to our planet and gaining from what it's given us already. I mean,
How much do you think Hempstock could make enough to purchase the property?
you know, we're not totally sure with that. I mean, we started an idea and got over 2,000 responses. In
We
a
could
week,
buy it
so-
before, not as Hempstock. We could buy it as the people. I already
Right.
talked to the foundation people who work for the Attorney Generals, and he said, if you know this regulation about your nonprofit filing and what you say you're going to do, we can build experimental buildings on the ranch because we're the foundation and it's not for money and stuff. I've studied sustainable building for over 15 years, and the goal is to have at least 40 different types of buildings. You want to stay in a yurt, a teepee, a hold-on, an earthship, you know, whatever, permaculture, a modern-looking home with rainwater collection and this type of thing, an atrium or whatever. There's so many brilliant sustainable designs working with the best of technology that's good, smart, reusable, cradle type stuff. No waste and upcycling or recycling and stuff like that. But we blend the new technology with the old wisdom, the Native Americans, the indigenous people. My friends and brothers are Native Americans and indigenous people as well. Yeah, I just got this fixed out. we are doing this as people. You know, I was born Christian in Iowa on a farmer. I was surrounded by farms, you know, farmers. 97% of Americans were farmers. Native Americans knew about farming and food, you know, before we got here as a, you know, as a culture.
It's more of like a divine movement, really.
It has to be. It's the only way. The hippie movement didn't work. Why? Because they didn't have as much heart. They had some free love and stuff like that, but they didn't have the solutions. Jim Wallace said they didn't really have the solutions. They were against this, against Vietnam, which is understandable. Now we're their children. I'm 60, you know, born in '64. We are being different. Now the kids are being different. So as a species, we're getting more loving and kind, some of us.
So when the human solution is involved with this project quite a bit, right? As far as they're wanting to see where it goes, is maybe funding towards the purchase of the property?
The way it works with Human Solution is I got made the coordinator of the state. I called Joe and said, hey, as that position, can I have a blessing on using your logo and the word and message of what you put out there as a civil rights group to kind of drive the force behind the message?
The spirit behind it.
Yeah, I mean, if you link everything together, it all makes sense. If you
Oh,
walk
yeah.
into a festival and you only learn about hemp and industrial farming, you're only getting a piece of the picture. But if you see both sides, those people that have gone to jail, those people that are out of jail, that have already done time, or the people looking to go, they all finish this whole circle that's involved, and we could save their lives with hemp. I
We
believe
hemp,
that.
no, we can't. Hemp is great for our nature and bank stabilization and not chopping down our trees and stuff like that. Take the jobs from chopping down trees and get them into reforestation again. You know, we had gardening during World War II, you know, grow a garden, victory gardens. And
So we
stuff
feel
that.
like maybe if we put together a good enough plan with enough people involved, and you see the growth and the way people you've been in touch with those emails. Someone's listening. Someone's paying attention. There's
Well,
a
we're all
desire
connected.
for
We're all
this to happen.
connected to life and to creation. That's what the wisdom tells us. That's what Christ said. That's what Buddha said.
So to answer
We're
your
all a part
question,
of. We are all a part of the human solution, man.
I don't know if Hempstalk is going to be the cause or the reason or the help that gets this to happen. We're just throwing it out.
Well,
on
we
the
should talk
table.
about it. I know a lot
So
about the
everyone
land.
knows what's going on. We have an option to go up north where we can make an offer of some money to secure the property. So say we take the offer up north, we sew that in, we start building our program. Maybe that's a stage, a platform where we can start growing this over here and helping.
Well, and we can launch the Kickstarter platform
that's
like
it.
right away. And
That's true.
most, you know, there are 40 days at a time. So there's 8 that I know of right now that we could launch fundraising campaigns. You know, what would be good was actually probably filming it at the ranch, having Matt talk about it, what he wants to do.
Documentaries.
You know, blast
Actually,
it
had a
out
lot
on
of people.
social media.
Actually, had a lot of people come out. We'd have a shootout there. We'd have our children come out there. We would come out there. The New River is probably for like the first time in over 15 or 20 years right now. 15 or 20 years. I was not expecting it to be raining. I literally was surrounded by millions of little frogs. It's a true story. When I walked outside my house, there was over probably 1,000 frogs in toads, in my yard, around my yard.
Wow.
Half mile up on the road, there were little tiny frogs. There's an explosion of growth because there was billions of gallons of water that hit a place on a Tuesday and then the following Tuesday. And it created a flood that nobody had ever seen before. And we have footage of it. So this is about creating a film and doing a Kickstarter.